Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase my updated Bobo Stamina Warden PVE build. This build is optimized for group content and attempts to do the most DPS possible while staying at range. I will be using mythics and trial gear, so this is not a super beginner friendly build, but rather more for endgame players. This build parses at 102k and is viable for most endgame. With that being said, here we go. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a stamina and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, we're a Dark Elf. I think Dark Elves have some of the best passives for stamina DPS. You can go another race, it's not going to matter too much. For the food, we're going to be running Lava Food Soup and Salt Rice for when we're parsing or just need more sustain. Our optimal choice would be Artem Takeaway Broth, and a cheaper alternative would be Dubious Cameron Throne. For the potions, we're just going to keep it easy and use weapon power potions. Reason being is we need access to major brutality, major savagery, and major endurance. We can get major savagery through our Netch if we do slot it, and we can get major savagery through Camo Hunter, but there's not enough spaces in terms of bar slot to actually have both. But if you want to sacrifice one of your skills, you can just run standard Essence of Stamina. For the CP, we're going to be running Exploiter. Swap this out for a different CP, especially if you need more crit damage. So Backstabber or Fighting Finesse would probably be better in most situations. Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, and Biting Aura. For the red tree, we're going to be running Balanced Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and Bloody Renewal. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Zogvin paired with 5 pieces of Reliquin, a Black Rose Prison bow on the back bar, and 2-piece monster set Kiarnar. So breaking it down in the main hand, we have a Zogvin bow charged with a flame damage enchant. For the back bar, a Black Rose bow infused with a weapon damage enchant. For the head and shoulders, we have 2-piece Kiarnar, both in medium, traded in divines with max stam. For the body, we have 5 pieces of Reliquin, all traded in divines with max stam enchants. And for the jewelry, we have 3 pieces of Zogvin jewelry, all with weapon damage enchant, traded in Bloodthirsty. So for the skills, we're going to be running Subterranean Assault, Lethal Arrow, Growing Swarm, Screaming Cliff Racer, Camo Hunter, and Wild Guardian. On the back bar, Endless Hail, Magnum Shot, Winner's Revenge, Poison Injection, Camo Hunter, and Wild Guardian again. So for the rotation, we're going to have 3 different rows. We're going to have row A, row B, and row C. So the rotation goes row A, then row B, then back to row A, and then row C, and then you just rinse and repeat. So in other words, if we broke it down, it would go Subterranean Assault, Endless Hail, Magnum Shot, Winner's Revenge, Screaming Cliff Racer, and Lethal Arrow. And then row B would be Subterranean Assault, Growing Swarm, Poison Injection, and 3 Lethal Arrows. And then we go back to row A, which is Subterranean Assault, Endless Hail, Magnum Shot, Winner's Revenge, Screaming Cliff Racer, and Lethal Arrow. And then row C, which is Subterranean Assault and 5 Lethal Arrows. Whenever your ultimate Wild Guardian is ready, just replace a Lethal Arrow with it, and then you can pre-buff with Northern Storm for a little extra DPS. So closing thoughts, first up, your flex spots are the 2 Camo Hunters that are slotted on the front and back bar. You can replace those with any skill you may need for a certain situation. If you are in an AoE situation, Silver Shards is going to be a better spammable than Lethal Arrow because Silver Shards hits multiple targets. For gear alternatives, instead of Reliquin, you can go Coral Riptide. And instead of Zogvin, you can go any of the other standard proc sets or damaging sets. The reason we run Zogvin is so that we don't have to run Trap. Although if you do go, let's say like Pillar of Nirn and run Trap, then you are going to pull ahead in DPS. But for this build, I wanted to stay at range, so that's why I'm using Zogvin. And if you want to stay at range, other alternatives include Order's Wrath and Medusa. And in terms of monster set replacements, instead of Kiarnar, you can go Stormfist or even Maul. I think they're pretty similar in DPS. And lastly, for Black Rose Prison Bow, you can go Maelstrom Bow or even Dragonstar Bow. I think they're pretty similar in DPS. And I think that wraps it up. Thanks for watching the video as always. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Or better yet, come join our Discord. My website is now available to the public, and I'll try my best to update it for every build I make. Furthermore, I'd like to get into content creation full time, so I've started a channel membership for those who would like to help support me. One added perk is that members get build request priority. Both of the links will be in the description. And lastly, if you feel like the builds have helped you in any way, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thanks again for watching. Attached is a parse and outfit section, and see you in the next one.